welcome to Viewpoints. I'm Heather Isveron, and with me today is Bryan Koon, Senior Operations Manager for the Emergency Management Department at Wal-Mart. Welcome, Bryan.
Hi, happy to be here.
We have a long title. Tell me what your job entails.
Sure. I'm with the Emergency Management Department for Wal-Mart, and our job is to make sure that the associates, our operations, and the communities in which Wal-Mart stores and Sam's Club stores across the United States and across the world are able to continue to function in preparation for and in response to a disaster. And my particular function within that department is the operations section. So I have the Emergency Operations Center and our Alarm Central section, which is our initial watch and warning point for any disaster that could affect the store and its associates.
And how do you communicate with your state, local, and federal officials in times of emergency or a terrorist incident?
They are a vital resource for us during those types of disasters. We make sure that they have a good understanding of what we are doing as a company because we feel often within our place in a community, we're one of the larger resources they have available. So we want them to know what it is that we're doing to prepare for and respond to a disaster. And so we have lots of communication points with Department of Homeland Security and FEMA at the federal level. At the state level, we tie in with the Emergency Management Agency at the state and share situation reports and information about what's ongoing. And then at the local level, the city level, the county level, it's often our store managers and our market managers who are in that community who have a very firm understanding of what it is that the company is trying to do and what it is the locals are trying to do who establish that relationship. So we have touch points all the way from on the ground at the city level up to a national level.
Great. And can you give me any examples of a best practice where, whether it was a terrorist incident or an emergency situation where those touch points worked?
Sure. Just in the last 2 weeks, we had Hurricane Dolly that made landfall in Texas. We have one of our representatives from the Emergency Management Department at Wal-Mart in the Texas State Operations Center. And through having that person down there, we were able to get real-time information on what it is that the state is doing to prepare for and respond to the hurricane, as well as to let them know that what we are working on as far as what stores we were going to close, generators, merchandise availability, etc. And through that, we were able to make sure that we were maximizing each other's efforts and able to mitigate any weaknesses that either of us may have in preparing for and responding to the disaster. So, for example, at one point there was a rumor that the power supply in Brownsville, Texas could be on and off over the weekend as they attempted to bring up the utility grid nationwide. That kind of electrical outages would have a big impact on our Walmart stores and our Sam's Club in Brownsville because the power fluctuation could damage our refrigeration system. By having us a presence in that state operations center, we were able to interface directly with the utility representative who was there in the state, who was able to say, no, that is not in fact the case. So we were able to take the generators that we had in place and utilize them somewhere else in the impacted area and bring up that store as well. So we're able to maximize our scarce resources in helping the community, the region as a whole. Same thing as the state discovered needs that it had, and some of the needs they had in that case with large rainfalls and flooding, they needed things like mosquito repellent. They could come to Walmart and say, what's your availability on this? And we were able to get them goods and services as quickly as possible.
Wow. And were there any challenges that you saw through that process? I mean, it sounds like it worked great, but, nothing's ever perfect.
Sure. And there are always challenges, and we continue to work through those. This summer we've had the Midwest floods that went on in Iowa and Illinois and Indiana. And some of the challenges are, mainly it's educating still public sector and non-governmental organizations about what the capabilities of the private sector are, and going out there and letting them know that as big as Walmart is and as big as other retailers are, Target, Home Depot, etc., our resources are not boundless, and we rely on very thin supply chains, just-in-time inventory levels, so that we get a product from the manufacturer through our distribution center to the store. So if they have large quantities, if they need large quantities of material, we may not have that on hand. And in fact, across the industry, you may not have all that on hand. So it's a continual education process to achieve a balance between relying on the retail industry to get some of the things you need during a disaster and stockpiling some of those things ahead of time. So those are some of the challenges as we swing from, states and locals stockpiling goods to try to buying them in a real-time basis to coming back to the middle somewhere and where you stockpile some things and get others in real time.
Great. Can you tell me what's next for what you do in Wal-Mart in terms of Homeland Security preparedness?
We are going to continue to work towards a public-private partnership with regards to planning for and responding to disasters. We really feel we're really just on the cusp of doing some great things there and coming up with ways to share information so that between the public entities doing this, the non-governmental organizations, and the private sector, we can really fill in any gaps there are out there and make sure that the citizens in a community have everything they need to prepare for and respond to a disaster, so that we can make sure that utilizing each other's strengths, we can really, as a nation, create resilient communities and create communities that are able to bounce back quickly from any disaster that could affect them. And so we're going to continue to push forward on establishing those relationships, establishing the protocols and the framework that will help us achieve that.
Great. Sounds like you're doing a great job.
It's a lot of fun.
Wonderful. Thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome.